let's turn attention to the NFF elections. As the 30th of September date for the Nigeria Football Federation Board elections draws ever closer, former president of the Federation, Alhaji Abdullahi Sani Lulu, has appealed to the voting delegates to resist the temptation of voting along religion or regional lines and elect the right person that has the experience and the capacity to turn around the dwindling fortunes of Nigerian football. He said Nigeria's football had witnessed a turbulent moment recently and needed someone that is versatile in football, politics, and administration across the African continent and beyond to restore the glory of the round letter game in the country and not a regional leader. All right. I must actually say that hearing the man speak, talking about Abdullahi Lulu, you would think that probably he was talking about maybe amateur training, but certainly he's not running for president. And we have with us here in the studio here, a veteran journalist talking about Iwuala that would help us dissect the NFF elections. And we know that the NFF elections is just next week, Friday. But let's start it off with the controversies, the setbacks that has almost crippled Nigerian football. First of all, court injunctions. Now, we hear that the player unions have actually gone to court to get an injunction stopping the election from holding on Friday. Start with that.
Yeah.
Football and court injunctions, they seem to be going hand in hand these days.
Absolutely nothing new, especially when you talk about in quotes, I put it in parentheses, the players union. How many players union do we have in Nigeria? How many players are even aware of the existence of these unions? How many of them have a role, a register of their members? What has been their impact on the serving and even the retired players? So Nigeria is a country where once you mention election, even if it is for this office, you see everything going loose. Everybody just thinks he's the right person to occupy an office. Everybody thinks, there's this common word they use, carry along. And carry along simply means protect my interest. But nobody is protecting the interest of football, which is the reason all of them are, running around. That football is not what any of them is protecting. So you talk about players union. Today, Harrison Jala has been a veteran of players union.
Yes.
Right through my days as a journalist till date. Once they broke up into two, broke up again into three, come together again with Austin after a lot of brick brass between each other.
And
so how do you want to even give credence to such a body who has not for one day fought for the interest of the players?
Now the question is, do they have enough power to stop the elections?
Well, you see, when things go to the judiciary in Nigeria, it becomes the same thing. They will say anything can happen because injunctions are thrown right, left, and center. And once there's an injunction, somehow, somewhere, you probably may have to obey it.
Oh, okay. Now let's. Earlier in the day, we brought a document that was submitted to the Ministry of Youth and Sports that said that a particular group came out and said that if the elections were to hold, the Nigerian footballers, stakeholders, that's what they call themselves, this renegade group are saying that if the NFF elections do hold, that there will be serious consequences. They will not hesitate to bomb the venue of the election, and they are saying blood will flow. When you saw this, how did you react to this particular document?
I obviously didn't take it serious, that's one. But two, also in a serious country, whoever conveyed this letter to the ministry should be held for questioning. You don't threaten to bomb a country and then the police are there just as if nothing has happened. So that is if they were to be taken serious. But I also believe the police know this is just some noisemakers who wants to be noticed. Nigerian football stakeholders, what is their stake? Well, what's that stake? Everybody in Nigeria, that's also, we coin words. Okay. We will say you're a stakeholder. What stake are you holding? What have you even brought to the table to give you a stake in what you're calling yourself a stakeholder for? We have seen this severally, like even the players, they say they want to be part of the federation board. But the way football bodies are constituted, you start from the bottom, as in local government, state, FA, then you come to the national. So all of them have opportunity. And I will have a number of players who have been FA chairman, Austin Okocha in Delta, Patrick Pascal is in Gombe.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a few. So why don't they go back to that grassroots, contest from there, and then come and take over the federation instead of being selected into the federation? That's something that, you know, it befuddles me when people come up and say, we need this, we need it. Whereas the football has been structured in such a way that you start from your local government, go to your state, and then come to the federation. If you can go to the local government and play the politics and come to the federal state and become if we have 37 FA chairmen from ex-footballers, of course they've taken over the football. But they shouldn't want to be given the right position on a platter. It's not done. It's not done.
All right, so we're talking about an ex-player that wants to become president in a moment. But before we get there, let's start it off from a man that's, those that know local politics and northern football will certainly know this man, talking about Iwuala. Iwuala is a man that is very known in the footballing circuit. And when we analyze his strength, they say he's a strong ally of the minister, one of his aides. He's grounded in Nigerian football politics. But some consider him an outsider, and some say he has a weak support base. Talk to us about Iwuala. What do you think about him and his chances?
You know, if I were beyond you asking me the question, I would have loved to just do a kind of categorization of the candidates. You see, any of these candidates that doesn't have a private sector background will not offer anything good to Nigerian football.
No, but he has a footballing background.
No, not footballing. I'm saying private sector business background. Footballing background as a civil servant passing file you may wish to approve and all. That's not what we need. No, please, let's not go. Can you go and buy a jersey of Canopilas? Do they have a clubhouse? When you talk about knowledge of football, if you have run a club in Nigeria and the club is still what it is today, then forget it. Let's take Remo Stars. That is ideally how to run a football club, not the ministry signing of a file.
Okay, so since you mentioned a private sector background.
Yeah, private sector background. That's
okay, so let's talk about Barrister Seyi Akiwumi. He's well respected in Lagos State. His legal practice is flourishing. Akiwumi and Busari, a well-respected law firm here in Lagos. Of course, like we said, he's a seasoned lawyer. He's successful in youth and women football. He has the backing of the minister. But some say he has a limited reach within the Congress. They say some say he has more support from the Southwest and not from the South and even the North. Talk to us about this. He has a private sector background.
Excellent candidate. He has been first vice president of the NFF for 8 years. A learning curve for him.
Okay.
He must have gotten the nuances of Nigerian football politics. But given his background as a private sector-driven person, he can bring that and maybe his network of friends to bear on making Nigerian football, sustaining what Amaju Pinnick has done, getting 80% funding from sponsors. That is also unprecedented in Nigeria. You know, we talk a whole lot of time about Amaju Pinnick board, which includes Seyi and the rest. Something they have succeeded in doing is not going cap in hand, so to say, to government. Now, Nigeria, when we're playing in the our home games, you see sponsors lined up on the boards.
Yes.
That is, he wasn't a perfect administration, but in terms of what he said he was going to bring to the table, sponsorship and global acclaim for Nigeria, he did that.
All right, you spoke about experience that Seyi Akiwumi brings to the table. Let's talk about the former scribe of the Nigeria Football Federation, Musa Amadu. Musa Amadu is a man who also had hands-on experience based on the fact that he was the Secretary General of the Nigerian Football Federation for 4 years. Of course, some say he's highly competent, some say he's prudent informed, some say he's a sound administrator. Talk to us about this. What's your take on Musa Amadu and what he brings to the table?
Yeah, Musa Amadu, a gentleman also. But I watched him on your program some days back. He was talking about the achievement of the Football Federation when he was Secretary General and mentioned 13 trophies.
Yes, he said he won 13
trophies are just all part of, it's not all football is about. England, that probably invented football, have not seen any trophy since 1966.
For the male?
Well, minus the
okay, for the bill,
so
yes.
until just a few months back.
Yes, okay.
So that's since 1966.
Over 50
so
years.
Are we going to say that English football is not being well managed?
One of the
because
best
they are not winning trophies?
One of the best in the world.
So we move beyond that. You won this trophy, you won that. That's not. And in fairness to them, yes, they won those trophies. But every other administration also have some trophies to show. Now you have 13 is not what will make you to trump others. There is the other side of football, which number one is money. If you can't make money for football, you can, if you like, you can win all the trophies in the world, but you won't even be able to win.
So are you saying that he was fortunate to be in an era during the Jonathan administration that always threw money at football?
No, I would say he wasn't the leader. I mean, when you talk about this, what would Megari say?
Okay.
For the fact that if people are saying Amajuna, not mentioning Shea, not mentioning Diko or the rest, they're saying Amaju. With the General Secretary now in the NFF come to say he is.
Okay. Since you mentioned Shea Diko, talk to us about Shea Diko. He's a man you've worked closely with.
And
what are his chances?
Another excellent candidate. I'm not going to talk about chances because these elections in the Nigerian Football Federation, since I've known it, I've seen 8 elections. Some were selections, some were elections. Yeah, right from Omerua's time in 1993 till date, I've witnessed all 8 of them. Some of them I even played a part in how the leaders emerge. But if you throw it open to the Congress to vote, I'm saying that they should be looking at Shehu Diko, Sheya Kumi, and the chap in Abuja.
How about Ibrahim Gusso?
I said I want people who have businesses they can show.
Okay, Christian Omera. Let's talk about because Ibrahim Gusso. Some say he's also very experienced, the chairman of chairmen. But how about Christian Omera?
Omera, like he said, I mean, he has said in his credentials, very sound with international exposures. But I'm also wondering how he can transit from yes sir in the office to become the boss. How he's going to do that transition.
But I was there when I've heard him speak, and he says that what he's doing with the security, the security architecture of CAF has given him that hands-on experience. And some presidents some FA presidents have actually attested to his leadership quality.
Like I said, having worked in that office for many years and then working at CAF and FIFA, yeah, suddenly the experience, the exposure has come there. But I'm saying also, can he pull his weight when he is on that seat? Because there's a lot of intrigues.
Talk to me about Ida Peter Side.
He's my good friend. He's my good friend. And I think he needs to grow his ministry more than looking for football.
Oh, my. Okay. Before we go, I just wonder, because we are trying to, later on Sunday, we will be bringing several of these candidates under one roof to speak about what they have for Nigerian football. Let's just get to probably watch this and to give us a broader perspective. So we're having a little debate, and we'll be hoping to hear from these people speak to us. But you've mentioned private sector, and amongst these people, the only people that seem to fit this bill seem to be Sheyi Akiomi and Shehu Diko.
And I understand Mokhtar, the Abuja figure, I also understand he's a private businessman.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. See, again, we are also making the same mistakes sometimes we make as a country. We are looking at the leader, the number one. We're not looking at the constituents. We are talking about stakeholders. If every state will elect a very sound person, and I will tell you, I've been to a number of NFF Congress. Some of the people there are just waiting to be told what to do. But we need people who can pull their weight. We need people who are not hungry, who have a means of livelihood, very good one, and then who are sound intellectually and football-wise. If you get these people from the States, you have a very comfortable Congress. And to even write up this Congress issue, the people asking that the Congress should be expanded to 111, it costs almost 100 million naira to host 44 members of Congress. Now you talk about 111. Where is the money going to come from?
Okay, just in 20 seconds, 20 seconds. How much of a vacuum has Amaju Pinnick left at the NFF? That is living.
He's leaving a big shoe marketing-wise. There may be some other areas that he may not have been perfect, but in that marketing aspect, we need somebody also who has been very close with him or who will even continue to draw from his experience to still tap those marketing funds to keep the NFF running. For the first time, our players were paid bonuses ahead of time before they went for a World Cup.
All right. I want to say many thanks to you, Iwuala, for your time today here on Newsday. And we'll be going on a short break. When we come back, Temi Tokwe and Hawa will be wrapping up Newsday.